The vast emptiness of space stretched before the alien fleet, their massive metallic ships cutting through the darkness like silent predators. Captain David Kim watched the monitors carefully, his hands steady and his eyes focused on the incoming vessels. To Earth's orbital defense systems hummed with quiet readiness. Something was approaching, something that had never been seen before. The alien ships were unlike any human technology, with strange angular shapes that seemed to bend light around them. They moved with a precision that suggested intelligence, far beyond simple mechanical navigation. Commander Park Jae-won leaned forward, his fingers dancing across holographic screens. Data streams flickered and transformed, revealing fragments of information about the approaching fleet. The communication systems were picking up strange signal patterns, not hostile, but definitely not friendly. "They're scanning us," whispered Sarah, the youngest communication specialist in the room. Her voice trembled slightly, but her hands remained steady on the control panels. The research teams had been preparing for this moment for decades. Countless simulations, theoretical discussions, and secret preparations had led to this exact point. Humanity knew that first contact could go in multiple directions: peaceful exploration or potential destruction. The alien vessels moved closer. Their metal surfaces reflected the distant starlight, creating an almost beautiful display of technological marvel. Each ship seemed to pulse with an internal energy, a living machine that breathed and thought differently from human engineering. David watched as the first communication attempt came through. It wasn't a language in any traditional sense, more like a complex mathematical sequence that danced across the screens. The translation algorithms worked frantically, trying to decode the mysterious message. "Analyze the pattern," David instructed his team. "Find the logic behind their communication." Satellites positioned around Earth began collecting massive amounts of data. Quantum computers processed the information at speeds that would have been impossible just a decade earlier. Humanity had been preparing, watching, waiting. The alien fleet didn't approach aggressively. Instead, they maintained a precise formation that suggested discipline and careful planning. Each movement was calculated, each position strategically determined. In the control room, tension built like a thick fog. Nobody spoke. Everyone understood the potential consequences of this moment. First contact could mean anything, from peaceful exchange to total destruction. Jae-won noticed something unusual in the alien ship's energy signatures. They weren't charging weapons. Instead, their systems seemed more focused on gathering information, on understanding rather than confronting. "They're studying us," he muttered, more to himself than to anyone else in the room. Hours passed. The alien fleet maintained its position, sending periodic communication bursts that grew more complex with each transmission. Humanity's best minds worked around the clock, deciphering, analyzing, understanding. Young researchers who had trained their entire lives for this moment now sat at critical workstations. Their fingers moved quickly, their eyes bright with a mixture of fear and extraordinary excitement. This was the moment humanity had dreamed about: contact with an alien civilization. The ships didn't look like the science fiction designs people had imagined. They were not smooth or sleek, but angular and precise. Each vessel seemed to have its own personality, its own subtle variations that suggested individual design rather than mass production. As Earth rotated slowly beneath them, the alien fleet maintained its perfect orbital position. They weren't attacking. They weren't fleeing. They were simply observing. David took a deep breath. He understood that whatever happened next would change human history forever. This wasn't just a military or scientific moment. This was a turning point for the entire human species. The communication system suddenly flickered. A new transmission was coming through, more complex, more detailed than anything they had received before. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't an invitation. It was a message. And humanity was about to understand its first words from an alien civilization. The International Space Station hung like a delicate spider web against the dark backdrop of space. Inside, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Dr. Emily Choi stood at the center of the meeting room, her dark blue professional suit, crisp and unwrinkled. Across from her, the alien delegation looked imposing. They were tall, nearly 3 meters high, with skin that seemed to shimmer between metallic gray and deep blue. Their bodies moved with a strange, fluid grace that suggested intelligence far beyond simple physical movement. The translation devices hummed softly. Each word, each gesture would be carefully analyzed and recorded. This wasn't just a meeting. This was potentially the most important conversation in human history. "We come to understand," the lead alien representative spoke. Its voice sounded like multiple tones playing simultaneously, creating a sound that was both beautiful and slightly uncomfortable to human ears. Emily smiled. She had spent years preparing for this moment. Her research on xenolinguistics and interstellar communication gave her an edge that few humans possessed. She knew that communication wasn't just about words. It was about context, intention, and subtle cultural nuances. The alien delegation carried no visible weapons. Their technology was integrated into their body structures, small, crystalline, implants that seemed to pulse with internal light. Each movement they made suggested a level of technological advancement that human scientists had only dreamed about. "We are prepared to share," Emily responded, her voice calm and steady. She placed a small data crystal on the table, a symbolic gesture of openness and potential cooperation. The alien representative touched the crystal. Instantly, complex holographic displays erupted around the meeting room. Images of human history, scientific achievements, and cultural developments played out in rapid succession. It was a demonstration. Humans were showing their entire story in minutes. Military personnel around the room remained tense. Years of training and preparation had taught them to be ready for anything. But this wasn't a typical diplomatic meeting. This was first contact with an entirely unknown civilization. The aliens watched the human presentation with what seemed like genuine curiosity. Their multiple eyes, each a complex network of lens-like structures, moved rapidly, capturing every single detail. "Interesting," the lead representative said. The word seemed inadequate, but it was the closest translation the device could provide. Emily knew that every single moment was being recorded. Scientists, researchers, and government officials from around the world would analyze this meeting for decades to come. One wrong word, one misunderstood gesture could change everything. The meeting room temperature seemed to drop. The alien delegation's body temperatures were significantly different from humans, creating a subtle environmental tension that nobody could fully explain. Communication continued. Complex mathematical sequences were exchanged. Scientific formulas danced between human and alien representatives. It was a language beyond words, a pure exchange of knowledge and potential understanding. Hours passed. The initial fear that had gripped humanity began to transform into something else. Curiosity, excitement, a sense of profound possibility. The alien representative suddenly extended what appeared to be a communication device. An invitation, it said. The device projected a star map showing multiple potential meeting locations across different solar systems. Emily understood immediately. This wasn't just a meeting. This was an offer of broader communication, of potential exploration and exchange. Outside, the space station, Earth continued its silent rotation. Billions of humans remained unaware that their entire understanding of the universe was about to change. This meeting would become a turning point in human history. The negotiation continued. Each word, each gesture was a delicate dance of potential understanding. Humanity stood at the edge of something extraordinary. First contact with a civilization that was both familiar and completely alien. Michael Park walked into the research laboratory, his footsteps echoing in the massive underground facility. Massive holographic displays surrounded him, each screen showing complex technological demonstrations that would challenge even the most advanced alien understanding. The alien research team watched with growing confusion. They had expected primitive, human technology, but what they saw was something entirely different. Michael's team had been preparing this presentation for weeks. carefully selecting technologies that would demonstrate human potential without revealing all their secrets. A quantum computer hummed in the corner, its processing power so advanced that it could solve complex mathematical problems in seconds. The alien researchers leaned forward, their multiple eyes tracking every movement, every subtle change in the displays. "We have developed adaptive nanotechnology," Michael explained, his voice calm and professional. A small demonstration began, microscopic robots reorganizing themselves, creating complex structures that changed shape and function in real time. The aliens exchanged glances. These weren't just technological demonstrations. These were glimpses into a potential future of human innovation. An artificial intelligence system came online. It wasn't just a simple computer program. This was a complex neural network that could learn, adapt, and solve problems across multiple disciplines. The AI began analyzing the alien technology, generating insights that even the alien researchers found surprising. One of the alien researchers, a tall, slender being with crystalline skin, touched a holographic interface. "Impossible," it muttered, but the translation device caught the hint of respect in its voice. Michael knew they were showing just a fraction of human potential. Decades of secret research, hidden technological developments, and breakthrough innovations were being carefully unveiled. Each demonstration was calculated to show capability without revealing complete vulnerability. Biological engineering displays showed human advancements in genetic research. Complex medical technologies that could repair cellular damage, modify genetic structures, and potentially extend human life appeared on the screens. The alien researchers looked genuinely shocked. "Your species is unexpected," one of them said. The laboratory was a controlled environment of pure potential. Every piece of technology represented years of human struggle, innovation, and collective intelligence. It wasn't just about individual brilliance, it was about human collaboration. A small drone demonstration showed adaptive AI-driven technology that could solve complex environmental challenges. The drone transformed itself, switching between multiple functions with incredible speed and precision. The aliens began to understand. Humans weren't just another developing species, they were something else entirely, a civilization on the verge of a massive technological breakthrough. Michael watched carefully. Each demonstration was a carefully choreographed dance of human potential. He knew they were showing just enough to demonstrate capability, but not enough to reveal all their secrets. Quantum communication technologies flickered on another screen. Instantaneous communication across vast distances, a technology that most alien civilizations had struggled to develop for centuries. The research facility felt charged with potential. Outside, the world continued its normal routine, unaware that humanity was fundamentally changing its position in the universal hierarchy. "We have more," Michael said simply. The alien researchers looked at each other. Their initial assessment of humans as a primitive species was completely destroyed. These humans were different. They were unexpected. They were potentially dangerous. One alien researcher made a subtle communication gesture, something that suggested both respect and a hint of caution. Humans were not what they had expected to find. The technological demonstration continued. Each moment revealed another layer of human potential. Adaptive systems, complex neural networks, biological engineering, quantum technologies, they were all pieces of a much larger puzzle. Michael knew this was just the beginning. Humanity was about to show the universe that they were far more than anyone had anticipated. The laboratory hummed with potential. Outside, the world continued to spin, unaware that everything was about to change. The research station orbited silently, a small beacon of human technology against the infinite darkness of space. Captain Daniel Kim sat in the central control room, his hands steady on the advanced control systems. Suddenly, alien attack ships appeared. They moved with incredible speed, their weapons charging with destructive energy. The rogue military faction from the alien civilization had decided to test human defenses. Daniel's team didn't panic. They had been preparing for this moment for years. The first wave of alien missiles approached. Most military systems would have been destroyed instantly. But these weren't ordinary defense systems. Quantum disruption fields activated, creating a complex mathematical barrier that transformed incoming weapons into harmless energy patterns. Defensive Protocol Alpha, Daniel called out calmly. The research station's AI system came alive. It wasn't just a computer program. It was a complex neural network that could predict, adapt, and counteract threats in milliseconds. Tiny nanotechnological systems began reorganizing the station's structural integrity, creating adaptive shields that changed molecular structure faster than the alien weapons could penetrate. Alien communication systems suddenly went silent. Their weapons became useless, absorbed and transformed by technologies they couldn't understand. 3 attack waves came. Each was neutralized more quickly than the last. The human defense wasn't about destroying the enemy. It was about rendering their technology completely ineffective. Electromagnetic pulse waves swept through the alien ship systems. But these weren't ordinary pulses. They were intelligent, adaptive signals that could penetrate and disable complex alien technology without causing physical damage. The alien military leadership watched in shock. Their most advanced attack squadron was being completely neutralized by a small human research station. Daniel's team worked like a perfectly synchronized machine. Each person knew exactly what to do. Years of training, simulation, and preparation had led to this moment. Adaptive AI systems began analyzing alien ship technologies in real time. They weren't just defending, they were learning, understanding, potentially developing counter-technologies faster than the attackers could adapt. Communication. Disruption complete, one team member reported. The alien ships began to drift. Their advanced technologies had been completely neutralized, not destroyed, not damaged, simply rendered ineffective. It was a surgical, almost elegant demonstration of human technological potential. The attack wasn't met with overwhelming force but with intelligent adaptive response. Small robotic systems began extending from the research station. They weren't weapons, they were data collection units, gathering information about the disabled alien ships with incredible precision. Daniel understood this was more than a defensive action. This was a message. Humanity could protect itself. Humanity could adapt. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The entire engagement lasted less than 12 minutes. When it was over, the alien attack squadron was completely disabled, floating helplessly in space. No lives were lost. No physical destruction had occurred. It was a demonstration of pure technological superiority. Communication channels opened. The alien military leadership was stunned. Their most advanced attack squadron had been neutralized by a small human research team using technologies they couldn't comprehend. We did not seek conflict. Daniel's message was clear and simple. We seek understanding. The research station continued its orbit, a silent guardian of human potential. Outside, stars continued their ancient dance, witnesses to a moment that would change everything. Humanity had shown the universe something important. They were peaceful. But they were absolutely not to be underestimated. The silence of space was broken only by the soft hum of adaptive technologies, a testament to human innovation and potential. Rachel Lee stood in the central diplomatic chamber, her hands clasped behind her back. The room was filled with representatives from both human and alien civilizations, a space where potential conflict would transform into understanding. The recent defensive demonstration had changed everything. The alien leadership approached with a mixture of respect and caution. They had underestimated humans, and that mistake would not be repeated. We propose a cooperative framework, Rachel began, her voice calm and clear. The alien lead representative, a tall being with crystalline skin, listened carefully. Their multiple eyes tracked every subtle movement, every nuanced gesture. Holographic displays began showing potential collaboration zones. Scientific research, technological exchange, cultural understanding. These were not just words, but real possibilities. Humanity wasn't offering submission. They were offering partnership. Complex data streams began flowing between human and alien systems. Each civilization would share specific technological insights, creating a collaborative platform that balanced mutual protection and shared growth. Medical research became the first true point of connection. Human adaptive nanotechnology could potentially solve complex biological challenges that the alien civilization had struggled with for generations. In return, the aliens offered insights into quantum communication technologies that could revolutionize human space exploration. The diplomatic chamber felt charged with potential. This wasn't just a meeting. This was the beginning of something extraordinary. Environmental restoration technologies were discussed. Humanity had developed advanced systems for healing damaged ecosystems. The alien civilization had complex planetary engineering techniques. Together, they could potentially solve challenges that had seemed impossible. "We do not seek conflict," Rachel explained. "We seek mutual understanding." The alien representatives began to understand. Humans were not like other developing civilizations they had encountered. Humans were adaptive, intelligent, and fundamentally committed to collaborative progress. Quantum communication channels opened. Information began flowing between civilizations, not as a weapon, but as a bridge of understanding. Scientific papers, cultural documentations, technological insights, all shared with remarkable openness. The diplomatic team had prepared for years. Every potential scenario had been simulated, every possible communication pathway explored. But nothing had prepared them for the genuine curiosity that emerged during these discussions. Agricultural technologies were shared. Techniques for growing food in challenging environments, methods for sustainable resource management. Each civilization had unique insights that could benefit the other. The alien representatives began to relax. Their initial aggressive posture transformed into genuine curiosity. Humans were not a threat to be neutralized. They were potential partners in universal exploration. Rachel watched carefully. Years of diplomatic training had prepared her for this moment. Every word, every gesture was carefully considered. This wasn't just a negotiation. This was the beginning of a potentially transformative relationship. Space exploration strategies were discussed. Humanity's adaptive technologies combined with alien navigational techniques could open entire new pathways of cosmic understanding. The diplomatic chamber became a symbol of potential. Two civilizations, once potential enemies, were finding common ground, not through force but through understanding. "We are different," the alien lead representative finally said. "But difference does not mean conflict." Rachel smiled. That single statement represented everything they had worked to achieve. As discussions continued, the room filled with a sense of hope. Humanity had proven it was not a civilization to be underestimated. But more importantly, they had shown they were a civilization committed to peaceful, collaborative progress. The universe watched silently. Stars continued their ancient dance, witnessing a moment that would change everything.